Today I'm going to show you how to craft the Liberty Exotic Pistol. And not just once, but we're going to set you up so that you can craft it perpetually to stockpile your exotic components, which is going to help you reach higher levels of expertise on your favorite weapons.
And if you don't know, now you know.
So why I'm making this video is because crafting the Liberty is easy and you can complete it in just a few easy steps. So if you're a new or returning player to the Division 2, then you want to watch this video so you can learn the steps to craft your Liberty Exotic Pistol. But if you've been around for a while and you're interested in stockpiling exotic components so that you can use those components to upgrade your expertise on your favorite weapons or re-roll your exotics for better attributes, then this video is for you too. And so you're going to be able to craft as many Liberties as you want for additional exotic components. The countdown game mode is still the fastest way to get exotics and exotic components next to global events as well as the daily and weekly projects. So this isn't intended to be better or replace those. This is intended to augment your exotic component farming. So this is in addition to those activities. So what you're going to learn here today is not only how to craft your exotic, but how to integrate this into your routines. If you already have the Liberty Exotic, one of the first steps you need to do is get it off of your main character and out of your stash. You will not be able to retrieve exotic components for the Liberty, and you won't be able to craft the Liberty Exotic if the Liberty is detected in your stash or on your main character. It needs to be on one of your additional characters, your mules. As long as it's on one of your mules, the game will think that you don't have the Liberty Exotic, and when you're taking on the related missions, it's going to drop you the components. And since you're playing these missions anyways, just throughout your week or whatever, this is a passive way to get exotic components. No real additional time or resources, so it's going to be super easy. This is the Liberty Exotic Pistol. It's an exotic version of the D50, which makes it a very strong pistol. It's pistol damage and normally damage to targets out of cover. And the talent's called Liberty or Dev. So hits grant 2% weapon damage, stacking up to 30 times. So that's 60% weapon damage, no joke. But here's a special part. Headshots consume all stacks, repairing your shield for 3% per stack, 90% healing capabilities. Then the mods are pretty good. It's got headshot damage, crit chance, 50% rate of fire, and a little bit of weapon handling on it. If you're looking for builds for the Liberty, I just created one a few days ago. Be sure to check this one out. It's real popular to see the Liberty on tank builds because of what it can do to shields. So first, I recommend going to the Capitol building, and basically about a little over the halfway point, you're gonna encounter this boss, and as soon as you take that boss down, you're going to get this component, which is the trigger mechanism. And just so you know, I'm doing everything on heroic here, and some of the stuff you'll see I'm doing it with directives, but none of that is required. In fact, you can do this on hard mode or whatever you feel like. Next, you're going to want to head over to the American History Museum, and this is a very fast mission, so just run through this, and the final boss at the end is going to drop the receiver component. That's your second piece. All right, head over to Viewpoint, also a fast mission, and the end boss will also drop a piece, which will be your sights. And then you're going to head over to the Space Administration HQ, and just like the others, the end boss will drop an exotic component, and these will be the grip and tags. So now you have all 4 components you need to craft the Liberty. So head over to the base of operations. So as you can see here, the materials required to craft are pretty basic, including the 4 components that you just ran around and picked up from all the bosses. But notice it's asking for you to donate a D50 to craft this. So you're gonna wanna go and get yourself one of those. Unfortunately, you can't craft this. If you do see one for sale, buy as many as you can. Otherwise, you're gonna wanna head over to Countdown, set your targeted loot to pistols, and get as many D50s as you can. It's also really handy when you're doing your summit project on a weekly basis. You can also farm for pistols as you're climbing that. And what I recommend is you get at least 4 or 5 D50s and store those in your stash so you can use those to donate later for future Liberty crafting projects. All right, head back to your crafting bench. If you don't see the Liberty crafting project, then you probably need to check in with Anaya, who's sitting right next to the crafting bench. Purchase a blueprint if she has one available for you. I already had the blueprint, so I didn't have to do this. So now you're able to craft, so just go ahead and donate the D50 and finalize the crafting of your Liberty. And that's it, super easy, right? Because the Liberty crafting project is so simple, I recommend integrating this into your weekly routine. So exotic components are the rarest resource in the game, and they're very important because now you need them to re-roll your exotics so you can get better attributes on them using the crafting bench, as well as the blood-sucking expertise system. And if you really want to take advantage of that, which eventually you do, then you're gonna need tons of exotic components. This is the real grind in the game now. It's resources, especially exotic components. So Countdown is the fastest way to farm exotic components overall, but the reality is that you can only do so much Countdown per week without getting super bored. And if you're like me, when you invest too much time into a single game mode, it gets very boring and becomes a daunting task. And so what I like to do is spread out some of these projects throughout the week because I'm doing these steps anyways. And so this is how I recommend you use this crafting project. Line up these missions like the Capitol building or American history or viewpoint with the daily projects, because if you're doing the daily projects, inevitably they're going to cross over one of those missions or a global event like a league. So for example, if we look at the league right now, the Two Bridges League, you'll see here that Space Administration is one of the locations for the league event, and they want you to complete it on hard, which is fine. It just so happens that the Space Administration is one of the locations that drops a Liberty pistol item. You're not only getting the rewards for the league activity, but you're also getting the exotic component. And then if you look at your projects, there's always a mission with these. And so these missions that are required, like Viewpoint and American history, come up very frequently. So over the course of the week, the odds are you're gonna do these missions if you're following projects or doing league events or staying up to date on the activities. If you craft and deconstruct a Liberty once a week, then that's 4 extra exotic components a month, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a steady contribution to your stockpile. And if you're doing the projects, you're getting your exotic components from that and from their legendaries and for SHD donations and the summit, and definitely including Countdown. You need to do all of these activities every single week if you want to stock up on your exotic components. So I'm treating the Liberty, the Dodge City holster, and the Chatterbox crafting projects as if they're weekly and daily projects, like the ones that the developers offer us to get exotic components. And it really is easy and basically a passive activity. I just have to remember to hit up the crafting bench from time to time once I get all of my components. That's the only detail. So it's no sweat off my back, but it's another way to get an exotic component for my expertise system. Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is TuxedoBandido, and this was another episode of The Division 2. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The Division 2. And if you like builds like this, check out the recommended build video I have here for you. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
Follow me.
I get it.